Hello, it is Wednesday, April 26th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Wednesday puzzle today, which means it is a midweek, mid-difficulty themed crossword. And this midweek, mid-difficulty themed edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Alex, Laura Sexton, Victoria Rojishka, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Showmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They are keeping this channel going, and for that I am very appreciative. So thank you if you are one of those 5, but also thank you if you're a patron at any level contributing to this channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to do that yourself, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video. There you can get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug as a benefactor, or access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week if you're a member at any level. Again, thank you if you have done that. You can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field to that friendly chat community. And please do remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not gotten around to that. Thank you if you've done so. All right, let's get on to today's crossword. This is a Wednesday crossword constructed by Aaron M. Rosenberg, who's constructed a handful of puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So we'll have some sort of theme today. Let's find out what it is. Let's start solving. Oh, interesting. We have a sort of a spiral shape in the grid, and the grid is an unusual type of symmetry. We have diagonal symmetry here rather than radial symmetry, which is more common. So, in other words, if you sort of divided the grid along this negative diagonal here, you could fold it, and the black cells would be symmetrically disposed. All right, interesting. And that leads to this sort of odd spiral shape. Okay, I'm very curious what this is going to be. Acronym in genetic sequencing. Gattaca, maybe? Isn't that... This is something to do with the sort of letters that are used to represent DNA. I can't remember exactly what this means. This could be wrong. I think there might even be 2 T's in that. I think this is wrong. Flirt with in a way. I don't know. We'll keep going. Collect is reap, maybe, as in reap and sow, but I'm not sure. Noted Venetian marketplace. I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll recognize it when I see it. Award with a best play category. Maybe Tony or Obie. Obies are the oft-Broadway awards, and then Tonys are the sort of major Broadway awards. Oh, but it could, you know what it could be? It could be the ESPYs, the ESPN Sports Awards. That would allow this to still be reap. And it could be a best play in the sense of in a baseball game or something, that sort of thing. Let's see if that works. Part of an analogy, yes. So something is to something as something else is to another thing. Is this Rialto? Noted Venetian marketplace. Result of extreme rage. Apoplexy? Could be the gamut. A to Z. There we go. The full spectrum of something. Cops in slang. They could be the popo, the police. All right, I really want to know what's going on here. Dizzying camera technique invented for 58 across. Zoom is, I wonder if this is a dolly zoom, like such as the one used in Vertigo, when Jimmy Stewart is sort of, his character has vertigo and he's hanging off the ledge, and there's that kind of simultaneous zoom while the camera is being kind of counter pushed on the dolly, and it creates that extreme distortion of the field of view. Anyway, invented for, maybe it is Vertigo. Oh, and this is exactly what it is. This is the spiral from the film poster for the film Vertigo. Yes, 1958 film that is the subject of this puzzle. It is Vertigo. All right, we can just fill these all in. Master of Suspense, who directed 58 Across, is Alfred Hitchcock. It's a great film, Vertigo. 58 co-star James Stewart, who was in the film, and then structure climbed in the climactic scene of 58 Across was it was an abbey or a church tower. No, what was it? A bell tower? What do you call it? What is 37 down? 58 Across co-star Kim Novak was Jimmy Stewart's co-star. And, it's annoying that I can't think what this... Oh, maybe it's just a tower. Maybe it's just referring to the tower. Okay. So this is Rialto. Okay, look at that. I think we've done the full theme. Well, that was fun. That was a nice thing that came straight from the dizzying camera technique, the dolly zoom. All right. Well, great. So buckets full is lots of something. It may punctuate a sarcastic remark. Not. You might undercut something sarcastically by saying not. Betray in a way is to rat on, maybe? To rat on someone to the popo, perhaps? Acronym and genetic sequencing, right. Oh, CRISPR, maybe. This is some kind of way to modify genetic sequencing, genetic code. I don't know. I sort of remember learning about this years ago. I used to talk about this all the time on a podcast I used to record called Important If True, but I don't remember exactly how to describe what it was. It was basically gene editing, as far as I can remember. Await resolution is to pend. And Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, I know that's a place name of... I'm not familiar with the one in Michigan, but that is a place name of more than one place, I believe. What a shame. It's sad. It seems a little bit generic. Let's try something else. Steamy brew, hot tea. And flirt with, in a way, is... I'm not sure. Mr. in a 1983 Styx hit, the song Mr. Roboto, probably. And one way to be marked. Absent. You could be marked absent from class or work, I suppose. Let's see. How-tos, maybe? It's sad. And four-corner state with six corners. Right, okay, Utah is one of the four states in the United States that meet in a sort of perfect cross. Oh, to flirt with somebody is to chat them up. That's a very British way to put it. Lecterns are podia, plural of podium, and camel and sand, for example. As in tan, the color tan. And that feels so good. You might say. A nickname for Francisco often. I don't know. Is it Pancho or Sancho? I'm not sure. Probably one of those two. I'm standing right here. Maybe ahem, you sort of clear your throat conspicuously to suggest you're nearby. Unsettling cry to hear during a haircut. Uh-oh. Would be unsettling to hear from the barber or hairstylist. Operation Overlord locale. I'm not sure about that one. Chicago Exchange informally with the. That's Merc, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I do know that. That's a sort of commodities exchange, I believe. And Deerstalker could be a puma, maybe. I think puma was in the crossword recently. So Francisco was Pancho, which was my first guess, although I wasn't confident about it. All right. Bullets, e.g., are ammo, ammunition, and Operation Overlord. Oh, Normandy. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. I probably should have known that, but did not come to mind. Possible focus of an MRI in brief. I mean, an MRI it's magnetic resonance imagery. If it's a scan, body scan, I mean, it could be literally anything, but not literally, but any sort of interior part of your body, presumably, but I assume in this case it's referring to the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. Display options in brief could be LCD screens, liquid crystal display screens. Goofing off. I'm not actually sure. Help could be aid, and thickness could be ply of a tissue or something like that. Plan out, you could map something out, and peanut product. You could have peanut oil used in cooking. So goofing off. Oh, monkeying around. Maybe this isn't LCDs, but LEDs, light emitting diodes. Fair enough. Also a display option. Anyway, monkeying around could be goofing off. To chortle could be to yuck, sort of big laugh, yucks, chortles. Genre for the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones would be ska. And way to travel for many tourists. I don't quite see what that is. What about this? Minor quarrels could be dust-ups, maybe? Oh, on a visa, I see. You could need an entry visa to go to a particular country. I see. And an empty space is a void. Filmmaker Lee could be Ang Lee, the director. Hallucination could be a figment of one's imagination, perhaps. And a bow-shaped woodworking tool. A something saw. Flat saw? I'm not sure. Bow-shaped woodworking tool. Oh, a fret saw, maybe. Does that work? One of 17 in New Orleans. A ward. Oh, the city must be divided into wards. Okay. Seems plausible enough. All Hallows Eve. And novelist Philip Roth is an American novelist. If you gave someone a wide berth, say you avoided them, gave them plenty of space. And Ulysses S. Grant's given name at birth. Oh, interesting. I don't know this. I didn't realize he had a different given name at birth. Let's see what this is. Prefix with demeanor or behavior. Misdemeanor or misbehavior seems pretty likely. Hatcher of Desperate Housewives. I've never seen this, but I've heard of Terry Hatcher, so she must be in that. And do we have the green light? Is it a go, you might ask? Guinness Book adjective. The first person to have done some feat. 2468 e.g. That's a set of digits. A set of numbers, I suppose, maybe more accurately. I guess it's equally accurate. Many-eyed giant of myth, Argus. And the Kama Sutra. There we go. All right. So we have two sort of, I guess you could call each of these to some extent sort of religious clues, sort of. Stubborn things, per John Adams, are facts. Facts are stubborn things, maybe. Something to that effect, I think is the quote. Oh, Hiram? Ulysses S. Grant's given name of birth. That's interesting. Cry after being narrowly defeated. I can't quite see. I can see bits of words in this, but I can arrange them in different ways, and I can't come to any useful conclusions. Big Apple School with campuses in Abu Dhabi and Shanghai. NYU, I suppose, New York University seems likely enough. Bill advocating for science. That's a nice little bit of light misdirection because it looks like a proposed law in favor of science education or something, but it's probably Bill Nye, this one-time science guy. And Interior Secretary Haaland. Oh, Deborah Haaland, maybe? That sounds familiar to me. Vessel for a nursery rhyme trio. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. It's the trio, I suppose. So there we go. Although this doesn't look right. So do I have something wrong? Oh, it's the tub. Sorry, it's the vessel. I don't know what I was thinking there with rub. That was strange. They weren't in a rub. They were in a tub. Okay. Cry after being narrowly defeated. Oh, I demand a recount. I see what it is. I kept trying to find ways that this could mean something R count, which seemed strange, or I don't know. I wasn't coming to any useful conclusions until that last moment. Sort could be ilk, a kind of something, a genre. Bagel go with, a bagel and lox is a great combination. Smoked salmon. And female hamster could be a doe, as many female creatures are called. Critical fact could be a key fact. Maybe that's one of the stubborn ones. And indication of learnedness for short. Indication of learnedness for short. It's not what I'm sort of evoking right now, seemingly. What is this? To the nth degree. Oh, a PhD, right. Well, I don't have one of those, so fair enough. And a stingy sort could be, oh, I see what it means. It's not stingy. It's sort of saying a stingy sort, and the question mark is indicating a bit of punniness or wordplay. So it's referring to a wasp, which might sting you, a sort of thing that might sting you. and a simmer setting on stovetop, for instance, you could set to low to keep something at a simmer, and there we go. A wonderful theme. I wonder if is there any sort of anniversary or something that is related to this being in the crossword today? I don't know when that film, the date on which Vertigo was released or anything like that. Interesting though. So here we go, a fun theme that I was very pleased to be able to get sort of fill out in its entirety, starting from dolly zoom, the dizzying camera technique invented for Vertigo, which was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak, who climbed a tower in the climactic scene of the film, which isn't really a spoiler because it doesn't tell you anything about why they're climbing the tower or what happened or anything like that. So there we have it. And this evokes I think Saul Bass designed opening titles and then sort of poster derived from that for the film. And even the kind of odd, awkward shape of this spiral, that was the first thing that struck me when I saw it. It was sort of not very kind of symmetrical, but that's also kind of how that was designed in the film. The actual sort of shapes used in the opening titles are kind of intentionally askew in that way, and this is fitting to the film, I think, thematically. Anyway, great movie, Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, and a really fun puzzle making use of it. So that was a good one, and well done to Aaron M. Rosenberg for an ambitious bit of very grid-centric theming. Enjoyed that. All right, let's see. Let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle, because today's crossword wrapped up in a pretty reasonable amount of time, so I've got time to do this. Stephen Giblin explains a grounder, the baseball hit, typically refers to a batted ball that is hit within the infield, not to an outfielder. That was my fault. I didn't even, in my mind, distinguish between an infielder and an outfielder. I was just thinking the people who try and get the balls. Anyway, a one-hop grounder is a grounder that bounces once before fielded by an infielder and usually results in an out for the batter or base runner, or sometimes a double play. So I think I basically inferred that reasonably correctly, except for the infielder versus outfielder bit. And Stephen Giblin adds, I would like to hear Chris's description of what a double play is. I assume a double play. So I assume the point of this was to make me look foolish when I don't explain it very well, but I assume what a double play is when you can sort of tag out two runners or in the same go by whatever you call it, attempt, by sort of throwing the ball to somebody else and then they get someone else out. I assume that's what a double play is, but we'll find out, I guess, by tomorrow. Anyway, on this topic, Joris van Huygen asks, is it fair to say that baseball is the New York Times official sport? I think that's probably fair enough. There are quite a few different sports clues that end up in the New York Times, but baseball is probably the most common. Telegnostic points out some clues I didn't read. Thank you for pointing that out. I try and catch those, but sometimes I fail, and yesterday I seem to have failed several times over. So these include 20 across, decorative vases were urns, 43 across, one who's easily fooled is a sap. I thought I saw that one. Maybe I didn't. 8 down, actress nightly is Kira, and 9 down, drink cooler is ice. Well, I certainly don't remember at least 3 of those, so I certainly didn't read most of those, and I may well not have read any of them. So thank you for pointing it out. Anyway, that's that. I'll be back tomorrow with the Thursday crossword, which will be a step up in the sort of theme complexity, perhaps, and that's saying something after today, so we'll see how that goes. Well, not that today was a complicated theme to solve, but it was just sort of an ambitiously illustrated one in the grid. Anyway, we will be back for whatever that is tomorrow. Hope you join me, but until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.